Yeah, come on.
Dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half. Like 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my dad gave.
Just everywhere I got an issue, you show up around it. So I mean, you don't forget music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around, you're when you come around.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. Got that?
50 Cent is on a strong mission to call out Big Meech. He says he has official documents that show Meech worked with the police and gave them information. But now the problem just got bigger because Lil Boosie got involved. He shared his opinion that he doesn't like how Lil Meech has been dealing with the situation. Boosie said very clearly that if anyone ever came for his dad the way 50 is coming for Meech, he would not be staying quiet. And it seems like Lil Meech heard what was said and understood the message.
Paperwork. You know,
Meech ain't like his response. It seemed like he got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, look at my daddy. Let's go.
Instead of just talking about it, he is making big and smart moves. He recently met up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. These two men are some of 50 Cent's most famous enemies. The fact that this happened right now was definitely not an accident. Just like you would expect, 50 Cent responded immediately. He went on the internet and called out Lil Meech, Rick Ross, and Boosie. He made it obvious that he knows what they are doing and that he will not ignore it if he feels they are being disrespectful. Now people are wondering, is 50 Cent just causing drama to get people to look at him, or does he really have a good reason to feel betrayed? Another big question is, what is actually in those papers he says he has? According to 50, those documents are real court papers. He says they connect Big Meech to a secret deal where he agreed to work with the police. This deal supposedly involved a former member of his own group who decided to become an informant for the government. Even though Big Meech has said publicly that he never told the police anything, 50 Cent will not stop. He says the proof is real and that it shows secret information about how Meech's problems with the law really happened. With everyone getting angry, people choosing different sides, and everyone's public image at risk, this argument has just become much more serious.
Keep showing up next to niggas that I don't f with. That's an indication to me he might have some feelings towards me. That is just everywhere I got an issue, you show up around it. So I mean, you don't forget music, because music ain't usually my motivation. My morals come off the curb. So if you see a nigga keep being around, you're when you come around.
On Tuesday, February 25th, 50 Cent went on social media and shared what he says is solid proof. He didn't just make a claim. He actually posted screenshots. One of them was a message from a YouTuber named 1090 Jake, who is famous for looking into accusations about people telling the police information and for researching official government documents. According to both 50 Cent and 1090 Jake, these papers supposedly link Big Meech's longtime friend, Tammy Cohen's, to an important federal case. And if those papers are real, they could totally change the way everyone thinks about the history of BMF. This is the moment when the whole situation starts to become really messy and confusing. Fans and people who know the industry are now asking how Big Meech's time in prison was made shorter in the first place. 50 Cent made people even more interested by posting a message that said, Tammy Cohen's the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090. Jake got that paperwork tomorrow. You know the vibe. That post caused a huge reaction online and got everyone guessing that something much bigger was going to be uncovered. What makes this new information even more surprising is Tammy's past relationship with Meech. She wasn't just some random person he knew. She was one of his closest friends, a business partner he trusted completely, and she was an important producer for 50 Cent's popular television show BMF.
I sold 5 million. How much you made though? So you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Yeah. You ain't just.
While Meech was in prison, Tammy was said to be helping to manage his business and keep his brand going. But now, there are quiet talks in the music world that suggest she might have been secretly working with the police. People allege that she used private information she got from Meech to help target important people who were connected to his business. A former member of BMF named Blue Da Vinci once said that Meech had chosen Tammy to be the leader of BMF Entertainment after he was sent to prison in 2008, but only a year later, stories started going around that she was working very closely with federal agents. If these accusations turn out to be true, it would mean that one of Big Meech's closest friends was actually helping to take apart everything he had created. This kind of betrayal would completely change the story of BMF's history. Before Big Meech's prison sentence was shortened, the situation seemed much more simple. It is only now with these new claims that people are starting to ask uncomfortable questions. Did Meech know that Tammy might have been working with the police? Did he get a shorter prison sentence because of her supposed involvement with the authorities? The argument on the internet has not stopped. Some people say that the paperwork 50 Cent is talking about is not even new and that it does not directly show that Meech was an informant. Other people point out that in all of those documents, Big Meech is never clearly stated to be a person who cooperated with the federal government.
50 Cent says that 1090 Jake found paperwork that proves Big Meech allegedly snitched. 50 Cent posted, Tammy Cohen, the truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. Got that?
Even so, the fact that his prison time was shortened at the same time as Tammy's supposed work with the police is what is getting everyone's attention. And this is the important part to understand. In some government court cases, when one person gives information to the police, it can accidentally help someone else involved. This can happen even if that other person never spoke to the police themselves, never signed any papers for them, or had no idea that someone was helping them. By sharing details that help the prosecutors, a secret informant can change the result of another person's court case without meaning to. But whether the person who gets that help actually knows about it relies on a few specific legal rules. Point one of these rules involves a signed and official document called a cooperation agreement. This is a formal deal where the informant agrees to give testimony or evidence that helps the government, and in return, they get a less severe punishment. When this happens, the people in charge of a court case, or even the judge, might decide to give someone else a shorter prison sentence. Sometimes this happens without everyone knowing all the details. Usually, if a person is getting less time in prison because of a deal like this, they know about it and have to sign the papers to agree to it. But this is where everything gets confusing. There is a little-known legal trick called third-party cooperation. This is when one person's decision to help the police ends up helping another person, even if that other person wasn't involved and didn't even know about it. This is exactly the part of the BMF situation that seems unclear. If this is what happened, it would make the ideas of loyalty, smart planning, and betrayal all mixed up in a way that would surprise everyone. If someone who is connected to a person gives very important information to the police, and that information accidentally helps another person's court case, the government can still reduce that other person's sentence. This can happen even if that person never talked to the police themselves. It sounds hard to believe, but it is one of those confusing parts of the law that people can argue about. In that situation, the person did not technically help the police, but they still get the good result from someone else's help. That is exactly why this idea of a third-party snitch is causing so much arguing online. It does not automatically mean that Big Meech knew about a deal or was directly part of it, but it definitely makes people ask questions that they can't stop talking about. So, if Tammy really did help the police in a way that led to Meech's sentence being reduced, the big question is, did Meech know about it and agree to it, or was it all happening without him knowing? According to 50 Cent, Meech was fully aware and even gave Tammy specific details that she then supposedly passed on to the investigators. But when you look at the paperwork, nothing in it clearly says that is true. If Tammy really acted on her own, giving information to the police without Meech knowing, then calling him a snitch might be a big exaggeration. Still, that hasn't stopped 50 Cent from increasing the pressure. He is using every chance he gets to put this drama in the spotlight and make it a bigger deal than ever. He is publicly calling out Meech and everyone around him, which is making the situation worse and forcing other people to choose a side. One of the first people to speak up was Boosie, who shared his own opinion on the whole thing. Things got worse very quickly after 50 Cent accused Big Meech of being a rat and also insulted the whole Funnery family. The situation became very personal, and that's when Lil Meech decided to answer back. He sent a text message directly to 50 Cent, and soon that private message was leaked and spread all over the internet, making the whole argument public for everyone to see. In the leaked text, Lil Meech wrote to 50 Cent, "They just told me you unfollowed me on Instagram, and now you're managing Skill ABA with Rocket, the same person I introduced you to. You didn't even know who he was back then. Now you're mad at me. I would have given you the shirt off my back." The message sounded emotional and upset, showing that Meech felt like he had been betrayed. But he didn't stop there. Lil Meech continued, saying, "I can't believe this, man. You're acting like I'm your enemy when I've only ever shown you loyalty and respect. I'm human. I go through things, but I never switched up on you." He wanted to make it clear that his actions were about business, not about being disloyal. Talking about the viral picture of him with Rick Ross that started the controversy, Lil Meech explained it was only about money. "Forget Ross," he wrote. "He gave my dad some bread so he could pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet got me twisted, man. You know me in real life." But 50 Cent was not accepting this explanation. He replied in a sharp way, making fun of Meech's message and basically ending their partnership for the BMF series. His reply was short and cold. "What next season, Lil Ninja?" This instantly showed that their work together was over. Then, acting in his typical style, 50 Cent continued to make fun of the situation. In another post, he joked that Lil Meech's next acting job would be on a reality show called Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. "I'll give Mona Scott a call for him later today," he wrote, which made the online reaction even bigger. The move was mean but very calculated, which is classic behavior for 50 Cent. He didn't stop there either. He also made fun of Rick Ross and questioned Big Meech's skills as a parent, suggesting that bad decisions and misplaced loyalty were the reasons for their fallout. To make things even more painful, 50 Cent found an old video of Lil Meech with Rick Ross's daughter, Toya Roberts, from when they dated years ago. He immediately posted it online, making fun of Meech in public and making the argument even more personal. What began as a business disagreement had now turned into a full-blown social media war with no sign of ending. 50 Cent used that old clip like ammunition, starting the fire again by asking why Rick Ross never helped the Funnery family when Big Meech was in prison. He posted, "Why old boy ain't look out for Meech and send him to acting school? Big screech, all your people out here doing nothing for him. You come home thinking you the black Pablo Escobar and mess it all up." It was a harsh reminder that 50 felt he had done more for Meech's family than anyone else had. Then he repeated his point. 50 Cent reminded everyone that he is the one who kept the Funnery family financially stable during the difficult years. He bragged, "I helped your family make over $5 million in legit money. It's not my fault it's all gone." And just to be clear, he added another insult, making fun of Big Meech for wearing his son's jewelry by writing, "Give the baby back his jewelry." The internet went crazy. Meanwhile, Boosie was asked about 50 Cent sharing Lil Meech's private messages, and he was very direct. He said he didn't respect how calm and polite Meech's response was. Boosie said that if someone had disrespected his own father like that, he wouldn't have had a calm conversation. He would have gotten angry immediately. To him, Lil Meech was being way too soft when faced with clear disrespect. But 50 Cent wasn't going to ignore that either. He replied to Boosie, claiming he has done much more for Lil Meech than Big Meech ever did. He even posted a clip of Boosie's interview with the caption, "I did more for Meech than anybody in his life." Boosie, that's why he responded like that. "If he ever got locked up, I'm the first one he'd call. I bailed him out every time." That statement made the whole argument even more personal. At that point, Lil Meech stopped trying to talk things out with 50 Cent completely. He didn't reply online, didn't post any mysterious messages, and didn't add to the drama. Instead, he made a statement quietly but powerfully by meeting up with 50 Cent's two biggest rivals, Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather. That move alone said more than any text or tweet ever could. And that's when everything reached a brand new level of tension. The bad feelings between 50 Cent and Rick Ross have been building for more than 10 years. It is one of the longest-running arguments in hip-hop, filled with insulting songs, business attacks, and public embarrassment. So, when Lil Meech decided to meet up with Ross, it wasn't just a casual get-together. It was a strong statement, a move that instantly brought back old problems and made everyone see that this argument was not going away anytime soon. Things got worse quickly after Big Meech was let out of prison. The timing of it all seemed almost like a movie. Then came Floyd Mayweather, another important person from 50 Cent's past. They were once close friends, but their friendship fell apart years ago after money problems, betrayal, and mean words traded online. So for Lil Meech to be seen with both Floyd and Rick Ross at the same time, two of 50's biggest enemies, it was a bold and carefully planned move that nobody could ignore. On February 21st, Lil Meech posted a photo on Instagram showing him hanging out with Floyd and Rick Ross at a bowling alley in Miami the night before. The picture spread across the internet instantly, but he didn't stop there. Another picture followed, this one showing just him and Floyd, both wearing clothes from Meech's Red Letters clothing line, a brand he personally gave to Floyd as a sign of loyalty and thanks. But what really started more trouble was the caption. Lil Meech wrote, "Real power." That wasn't just a nice comment. It was a direct insult to 50 Cent's hit show, Power, a series that 50 has proudly built his career around. The insult was subtle but very effective, and fans immediately understood the disrespect. To make things even more dramatic, Big Meech himself made a surprise phone call during the meetup, speaking live with both Ross and Floyd while cameras were rolling. That moment sent waves through social media, showing a clear change in who was friends with who. And of course, 50 Cent wasn't going to let any of it happen without a response. He fired back right away, posting a clip of Lil Meech talking with Rick Ross and making a brutal joke in the caption. He said, "Yo, tell your pops I'm going to look out. What's the address? I'm sending some wings over there." The comment was a direct mockery, mixing humor and embarrassment in the way that only 50 Cent can. And it made the internet go crazy all over again. It was classic 50 Cent trolling, sharp, strategic, and full of sarcasm. But underneath the jokes, one thing is now very clear. 50 Cent is officially done with the Funnery family. After everything he put into the relationship, from making their story famous through the BMF series to personally teaching Lil Meech and helping him get into Hollywood, 50 Cent now feels deeply betrayed. This isn't about fame or news stories anymore. For him, it is personal and permanent. With Lil Meech now publicly joining sides with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, two of 50's most famous rivals, the message is louder than ever. The connection between them is destroyed, and there is no way left for them to make up. What started as a partnership based on loyalty and family history has now broken apart into open anger, and the argument is getting worse with every social media post, caption, and interview. Fans are split on the issue. Some people say that 50 Cent has gone too far, publicly attacking Big Meech and Lil Meech, sharing private details, and pushing papers that haven't been proven. They see it as unnecessary, especially since 50 Cent also gained a lot of success from the BMF brand himself. But other people defend him strongly, saying he is just being professional and protecting his reputation after being disrespected by people he once helped become famous. There is no denying that 50 Cent gave Lil Meech one of the biggest opportunities of his life, turning the BMF story into a worldwide success. Yet now that story is caught in a storm of betrayal, pride, and accusations that might never be completely resolved. Whether the paperwork is real or not, the harm has already been done. So where does this leave everything? Is 50 Cent taking things too far, or is he right to call out disloyalty when he sees it? And most importantly, do you believe the paperwork really proves Big Meech worked with the police? Share your thoughts in the comments, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more news stories and inside looks at the music industry. This situation is far from over.